What's up, everybody? We are the Duderes, and today we are bringing a review of Absolute Duo.
Episodes 6 and 7.
Let's go into it.
Absolute Duo, Episode 6, Survive. The episode opens to reveal that Lilith has rented out a mall in order to have a survive battle with Thor and the members of his class. After she fends off an attack by a group of students, she is confronted by Thor. After an exchange of words and blows, their battle is interrupted by Tomoe, Tachibana, and Yulie, to name a few. Lilith again fends them off and retreats. Thor and his group regroup and confront Lilith again, but are once again successful in defeating her. The group again tries a third time and is finally able to best her. Lilith, unwilling to admit defeat, prepares to face off one-on-one against Thor. But this is interrupted by a group of men in armor who shoot Thor with a real bullet. Their goal is revealed to be the retrieval of Lilith, who they also shoot for refusing to come with them. She only agrees to go with them when the men threaten to kill Hodaka. Thor, unwilling to allow them to take Lilith, confronts them immediately while they are on the escalator, in which he uses his Mjolnir ability to destroy the escalator, causing them all to fall. During the fall, Yulie and Aoi each deal with 2 of the 3 men, and the last is shot by Lilith with Thor's help. Once back on the ground, even though they are injured, Thor and Lilith have their battle. The episode ends with Thor in the hospital due to him losing the battle with Lilith. All of his friends are trying to cheer him up when Lilith arrives and announces that she has decided that Thor will be her future husband, much to everyone's dismay. So, what are your thoughts about episode number 6?
This was kind of an interesting episode. They kind of completely skipped that she had picked a fight with the second-year students, and they go right into the survive battle.
She knocked all their asses out.
So, that's what we're kind of led to believe.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, look out, everybody, we got a badass here.
Yeah.
But, we see that she's really able to dispatch everybody really quickly, and also brings one of the, the things that I really hate a lot about anime. Is that they present Lilith in this for most of this episode as that character that is just unbeatable.
Mm-hmm. OP.
This
OP.
If this was Dragon Ball Z, this is where they go into everybody goes into the hyperbolic time chamber and trains for 17 episodes.
Yeah.
Just so they can learn that Super Saiyan flick attack. That's really kind of my problem with Lilith at this point. Of the episode, but we do see that Thor and her, they have these exchanging of words that basically he wants to fight her at full strength with all his power, so they can better understand each other through their battle and then finally be friends. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of an interesting concept. I'm gonna beat up on you and then we're gonna be friends.
Why not? Love-hate relationship.
I don't know, Todd. Should we throw down and then we can be friends?
I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
So, but it was nice to see that everybody kind of played a nice role. We also see that Julie's kind of, she's always the one that wants to make that direct attack. Mm-hmm. And when she tried that on Lilith, it really backfired. It ends up with Tomoe getting hurt. Mm-hmm. But everybody, kind of pitches in to try to defeat her, and when they finally get that upper hand, hey, we got some random dudes here, and we're just gonna start swinging real bullets.
Yeah.
And that was kind of interesting that that they had shown up specifically to retrieve Lilith. Mm-hmm. They don't really state why, but and again we see Thor throwing around his Mjolnir ability, mm-hmm. Destroying things.
Yeah, Thor is special too.
Yeah. But, so it was kind of interesting, again, why don't they take Thor? Because, hopefully soon they'll explain why he has that ability with his hand.
Mm-hmm. Episode-wise, this was, the action was pretty good, and I think it was some of the better action we've seen. I still think the battle with the teacher was actually a little bit more intense and a little bit more entertaining to watch. But still, I liked what we saw. Lilith was actually really smart, and she's like, oh, that was just for show. My gun doesn't actually need to be, whatever like that.
Yeah. And she's also, she dresses herself up as another student, hides amongst their bodies.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, she's a hunter, so...
Yeah, there was one part, I don't know if it was in an animation error, but it actually looked like Lilith pulled out a second gun. And it was just for a split second, and, you know, please, comment section, please tell me if you guys saw this too. But, you know, it was, you know, she goes to shoot at, I think it was Aoi, she goes to shoot at him, and Julie tries to attack her, and, you know, all of a sudden her gun, you know, was in her left hand, all of a sudden it's in her right hand. But it looked smaller. So it looked like she had a pistol. So I'm wondering.
That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, I thought so. I was like, wow, okay, that's a new trick. So I really wonder if that was just kind of, yeah, she has two guns, or we screwed up drawing
this. An animation error, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, so I mean, it'll be interesting when I take a look back at it. But honestly, I felt like this episode was kind of everywhere. It was really fast, and then all of a sudden these guys came, and I'm just like, who are these guys, you know? And then they're like, all right, we're going away now. And then Thor's like, stop. And I'm like, whoa, wait a second. I thought this was going to be like the next episode. So, and then they keep going with the fighting, and then the guys run away, and then it's like, or, you know, get crumbled on with the debris and shit. So it really went everywhere this episode, and I'm just sitting there like, man, that was a lot to take in because it was so hectic.
You know, we only see one of the guys in the armor in their face, you know, the blonde-haired guy. We never get a name for him either. You know, he digs himself out of, you know, the rubble of the escalator in the mall, and, you know, one of the other guys in, his, you know, comrades is like, hey, help me, and what's his response? I'm gonna shoot you in the face. Well, that's what we're led to believe. We hear the gunshot from him, but,
yeah,
you know, so we're led to believe that he just executed this guy rather than help him.
Mm-hmm. So he sounds pretty ruthless, but, I mean, at least it gives us kind of another antagonist. Yeah. And, you know, I think over the both two episodes that we talk about, I think they continually drop hints about how people have this thing against the principal. They talked about it a very small in this episode. In the next episode, they emphasize it on it even more.
Yeah.
That she really does have her own agenda, and she's cold-hearted in a way, and all that other stuff. So that's another really interesting character, because we don't see her that often, you know. So that's another element that I'm like, man, see, this show has got the right stuff to be a good show, but it needs to stop focusing so much on, you know, the slice of life romance stuff that's super cliched. I mean, it's fine if it's integrated into the plot, but if it stops the plot for, you know, for the sake of it, then don't do it. But like I said, this show has got the elements to be good, to be fairly unique, and if they play their cards right, it's going to turn out to be excellent. But, you know, they got to turn it around soon because the show's already half over.
Yeah. I mean, as far as this episode goes, it had great action, gave us some new breadcrumbs for plot points. I mean, for me, this is a good solid 4. I mean, there's just, and I only give it a 4 because they crammed a lot into this episode.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much to digest from what's going on.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the time I found myself pausing it to kind of reflect and like, huh, okay.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, and a lot of people can take that as a negative point, that there was too much in the episode, that there was that some things need to be emphasized more, and so on. I mean, I think some characters like Yulia got some good, you know, plot progression or character progression, but I would actually take how much was in the episode as a negative.
And that's a negative on my part as well. I mean, they really, when they went to take Lilith away, that should have been the end of the episode. That's where it should have stopped.
Yeah, that's where I thought it was going to stop. I didn't even check the time. But I would actually give this episode a 3 just because it was so hectic and so many things happened in weird ways that I'm just kind of sitting there like, that was a lot to take in. So you know, and it just felt hectic, you know. And when an episode feels like that, it can turn bad. So you know, at least we got some progression with Lilith at the end. She no longer holds a grudge and wants to marry him instead. You know, who knows? Anime.
Yeah. Well, we just did that Thor apologized for, turning her down.
Yeah.
So why he felt the need to apologize is beyond me, but...
So we've got a 3 and a 4, but hey, let's move on to episode 7.
Yeah. Onward. Absolute Duo, episode 7. Silver Blonde, Yellow Topaz. Hotika is in the shower. She blames herself for Lilith being captured due to her weakness. Tomoe enters and gives her some words of encouragement. We then move to Tor and Julie on a boat. Julie appears to be having a mild case of seasickness. It is revealed that all the first-year students are on the ship, heading to the school's seaside summer camp. After all the students are called to the top deck, they are then told they have to swim several miles in their uniforms to the island, and then the ship proceeds to dump them all into the water. Tor and Julie fall way behind everyone else due to Julie not being able to swim. At this time, Lilith appears in a helicopter. She then pulls off all her clothes, revealing her swimsuit, and she jumps into the water. The three of them then proceed to swim the rest of the way to the island. Once they reach the island, they take a small break. Julie decides she wants to dry out her underwear due to them being uncomfortable, but the wind blows them off into the water. Tor, Julie, Lilith, Tomoe, and Hotika soon find themselves under attack by ninjas using blazes. After battling with the ninjas for some time, the group gets the upper hand and defeats them. One of these ninjas is revealed to be Imari, the girl Tor fought in the first episode to get into the school. The island is revealed to be the home of the branch academy of the main school, and that all the students that failed the entrance exam were given the choice to attend there instead. The episode closes with Hotika realizing that she is in love with Tor, and we once again see the surviving armored man from the last episode talking to a scientist and looking at a new set of armor.
So that was episode 7. What did you think about that one?
We got they answered my question of whether or not Imari was coming back.
Yeah, that was the big bomb in this one. That was the bomb they dropped in that. Boom. There's actually more students. The students weren't exactly expelled or turned down and said go home. You'll never be.
I had a suspicion that it was Imari pretty early on, just when they started pulling out their blazes because of her sword, and so it was just that it has a very distinctive shape. So it was really nice to see they brought her back, and that she's not like, I was afraid that if they did bring her back that she was just going to be
Like all of a sudden evil and want to get revenge on everybody.
That was my fear that it was going to be. But it was nice to see. But, the fact that they all had to swim to the shore, we get more cliches, with, Julie losing her underwear, and then, getting stuck on everything, it's like, don't look, and, it's Lilith in her bathing suit.
Yeah. Sexy Lilith is sexy, cute Julie is cute. So I mean, I'll never complain about stuff like that. But I mean, I guess when the cliches pile up too much, but with the ship and dumping them off the side, I still kind of like, and adds a uniqueness to it, despite what other people think. This school is pretty darn ruthless. Yeah. It's like, all right, test starts, have fun,
it's off the ship.
Yeah, so it's that was it's interesting. So and it makes the school a little bit more ruthless and show how tough it really is. And I think Lilith got a lot sweeter this time around, and I liked her character a lot with the sunshade thing she wanted to do for him and whatnot. But at first when I saw the ninjas, I'm like, wait a second, they keep emphasizing on these ninjas, like you can almost see their faces but not. I'm like, I wonder if that's that one girl, and there she was.
Yeah.
And I get what you said about how that she could have been evil, because I feel like in the opening they kind of portrayed it in a way like she'll be back with revenge.
Yeah.
So
and then we when he finally pins her down, we end up with the cliche boob,
the
accidental boob grab, But I mean, speaking of boobs, we have Hotika at the beginning, in the shower, and
but she was kind of like self-reflecting in a way. Yeah. So I gave it a pass because it was integrated into the plot.
No, I mean, it was nice that as far as her character goes, she's always bringing herself down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of what we've come to expect from her. And then we have Tomoe, trying to, just encourage her, that, I chose you to be my duo, back when they're in the jungle and, they fall in the water and, she's always like, Hotoga's like, I'm holding you back and things like that. And she's like, when you talk bad about yourself, you're talking bad about me in a way because, I chose you to be my duo. And, I can understand that. And when it came down to it and Tomoe was in trouble, she stepped up and actually showed that she can take care of herself.
Yeah, oddly enough, her character progression was off screen, actually, for the most part, and that's what everybody was like. Oh, you're amazing! You're a great fighter and all that other stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, she personally got some character development, and I don't know about anyone else besides her, really.
I mean, we see that with Hotoga over the for the last couple of episodes, she it's really been pushing towards the fact that she has feelings for Thor, and it'll be interesting to see where that heads.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. I thought those two were gonna be like the like Yuri Undertone pair, and I'm glad I'm mistaken.
I did too.
Because that would have been like the cliche way to go.
Yeah. And we bring now that we have Amari back. I mean, I wonder how she's going to play in the whole plot of the show.
Yeah, I think it was a nice touch too, and a nice surprise because nobody saw it coming that they actually had a branch school. So it offers a lot of questions now with all that stuff.
So we see that that they have the branch school, and that was nice. I mean, that we see that the students weren't just thrown out.
Yeah. So I mean, and like I said, it offers a lot of questions, and we'll see what happens from there. So like I said, the show has got the right cards to be unique and good. It just they need to play them right.
Yep. And like you said about the last episode, with the headmaster, we see Thor try to thank her for actually not expelling these students and giving them a second chance, and to which she simply replies, "There's no need to thank me, as I'm just simply doing what's best to achieve the absolute duo."
Yeah. So that's interesting. It's like what is the absolute duo and what are the requirements for it? So I mean, even the teacher who is like feared by everybody, desires this so badly. So it must be really difficult. So hopefully they build on that plot point.
And we have that blonde-haired man again. This time he's talking to a scientist. They've got some kind of suit of armor, and it's like,
yeah,
what does this do? I mean, are you gonna put this on, dude, or are you putting this on someone else?
Yeah. So I mean, and they kept talking about Lilith as well. So it might be meant for Lilith, we don't know. But I think it kind of insinuated that it's going to be for that blonde guy, the way he looked at it. So, but we'll see. So with that, guys, that is Absolute Duo for this week. If you liked the video, feel free to give us a like, and if you want to see more stuff, subscribe to us if you like our stuff. And we are on Twitter and Facebook, so feel free to tweet at us or follow us or like us and keep up to date on all the stuff that we're doing right now. So.
We're social guys, hit us up on social media like Twitter and Facebook, and we're happy to respond to you guys. Or you can even message us here on YouTube,
Yeah, tell us what you're thinking about Absolute Duo right now. I think it's kind of up and down. Some people are enjoying it for what it is. Other people find it lacking. But tell us what you think about it. So with that, I think that's everything, and we will catch you next time.
See ya.
Todd's fixing stew, guys. It's an important part of the show.
It's in the logo of the Duderes, not that. That's not supposed to be me. I promise that's not supposed to be me.
Any likenesses to people's living or deceased, just purely coincidental.
Purely coincidental. Just like Rolling Girls, did you see how they were? They did that?
Yeah.
As you can probably already tell, this is not real.